You're about to watch the world's best athletes compete in Milano Cortina 2026. But here's what they won't tell you during the opening ceremony. Every Winter Olympics, athletes die. Not in competition, in preparation. These mountains don't care about your dreams. This is the story of why the Winter Olympics exist at all, and the razor-thin line between glory and death that every athlete walks. February 6, 2026, Milano Cortina. The world is watching. Downhill skiing, speed skating, ski jumping, bobsled, athletes pushing human limits on ice and snow. But here's what nobody thinks about. Every single one of these events exists because someone almost died. Let me explain. In 1924, the first Winter Olympics were held in Chamonix, France. The goal was simple: celebrate winter sports. But within the first week, multiple athletes were hospitalized. Frostbite, avalanches, high-altitude sickness. So rules were created, safety protocols, equipment standards, but the mountains didn't care about rules. The Alps, where Milano Cortina sits, have claimed the lives of 174 Olympic athletes, not during the Games, during preparation. Picture this: you're a downhill skier training for Milano Cortina 2026. You're going nearly 95 miles per hour down an icy slope. 1 degree too far left, you hit a tree at highway speed. One binding malfunction, your knee explodes. One moment of fog, you ski straight off a cliff you never saw coming. That's why every athlete competing in February 2026 has already survived the most dangerous part: training. Let me take you to Cortina d'Ampezzo, one of the most iconic Olympic venues in history. Beautiful, legendary, deadly. In 1956, Cortina hosted its first Winter Olympics. 6 months before the Games, during a training run, Austrian skier Andreas Molterer hit a hidden ice patch at nearly 80 miles per hour. His binding failed. He cartwheeled hundreds of feet down the mountain. He survived, barely. So ski bindings were redesigned, built to release under extreme pressure. But that created a new problem. Bindings that release too easily cost you the race. Bindings that don't release cost you your legs. Every piece of Olympic equipment exists because someone got hurt. Helmets became mandatory after Gernot Reinstadler died in 1991, hitting safety netting at full speed. Airbag vests for ski jumping were introduced after multiple jumpers broke their backs during the 1990s. Padding on bobsled tracks was added after the 2010 Vancouver Olympics, when Nodar Kumaritashvili was killed during a training run just 1 day before the opening ceremony. The mountains don't care about your training, your talent, your dreams. They only care about physics. So what makes Milano Cortina 2026 different? 2 things. First, the Stelvio course, one of the most dangerous downhill runs ever used in the Olympics, a vertical drop of over 3,200 feet, speeds approaching 95 miles per hour, nicknamed the Beast. World Cup data shows a 23% injury rate on this course. Nearly 1 in 4 skiers gets hurt, but they still have to train on it, because if you don't know the mountain, you die on it. That means every athlete racing in February 2026 is gambling with their career, every single training run. Second, climate change. The Alps are warming faster than almost anywhere on Earth. The snow is wetter, heavier, more unpredictable. In 2023, World Cup training runs in Cortina were canceled 14 times. Avalanche risk, ice sheets forming overnight, fog reducing visibility to 0. The mountain you trained on yesterday is not the mountain you race on today. So when you watch athletes compete on February 15th, 2026, they're not just racing each other. They're racing a mountain with a body count, on snow less stable than any previous Winter Games, at speeds where one mistake is permanent. So who survives? Not the fearless. Fear keeps you alive. The survivors are the ones who respect the mountain. In 2022, Austrian skier Matthias Mayer won Olympic gold. But just weeks earlier, during training in Cortina, he lost control on ice and crashed into safety netting at nearly 75 miles per hour. He walked away because he knew when to bail. When you watch the 2026 Winter Olympics, you're not just watching athleticism, you're watching survival instinct. The Winter Olympics celebrate human achievement, but they only exist because we learned from death. Every safety rule is written in blood. Every piece of equipment is a response to tragedy. Every course modification came after someone got hurt. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The Winter Olympics push athletes to the absolute edge of what's survivable. The margin between gold and death is measured in milliseconds. February 8, 2026. Men's downhill training begins on the Stelvio course. Athletes hit nearly 95 miles per hour with nothing but a helmet between them and the trees. February 13, 2026. Ski jumping from heights where one wrong landing breaks your spine. February 16, 2026. Women's bobsled. 140 miles per hour in a metal tube. 5 Gs of force in the turns. Walls so close you can't lift your arms. These aren't just sporting events, they're calculated risks. So why do they do it? Why risk everything for a medal? Maybe because surviving the mountain is the point. The Winter Olympics aren't about defeating nature, they're about respecting it, learning its rules, and pushing right up to the edge without falling off. So when you watch Milano Cortina from February 6 to February 22, 2026, remember this: you're not just watching sports, you're watching humans test limits, respect danger, and survive against the odds. February 6th through 22nd, 2026, Milano Cortina. The mountains will be beautiful, the athletes will be extraordinary, and every single one of them will have already survived the most dangerous part, training. Because these mountains have taken more lives in training than most people realize. But not these athletes, not this time. Remember that when you're watching. You're not just watching sports, you're watching survival.